This is a beautiful box Olight has put their new light in. They also throw in this nifty little giant cord. My favorite thing about the Olight real fast is it would slide onto my hat just like that. Easy peasy. Before we get into the lighting test, let's just see if this compares. Oh, it's a little bit snugger, but it could just be because it's brand new and I haven't worn in that clip. But still, that was really nice and quick. I do like it. I love it actually. Look at that double power. Inside the rest of the box, you pull this piece out. Down in the bottom, you got this other little package. So the charger pad, if you haven't ever seen the Olight stuff, just connects right to the bottom. You plug this into a USB port. That's pretty cool. Now we got a side-by-side comparison. So on this pocket clip is actually a little bit wider on the Arkfeld Ultra than the original Arkfeld. Another thing to point out is on the side, you got textures on both of these, but this texture has more of a rigid feel. It's actually little tiny indentions all the way through. This one's just line indentions all the way down. I do like this version more. Yeah, it's new. Of course I'm gonna say I like this one more, but it just has this extra like grippy feel to it. That makes sense. But like smooth grippy. It's kind of weird, but I like it. Another thing to point off about the Arkfeld Ultra compared to original is they tapered it down slightly. It does look cool, and it also feels slightly different in the hand because the sides are tapered down. Unlike this one, it's still got a more squarish feel. Another thing, if you connect both of the butts together, it makes an infinity light. Now, as for one thing I didn't like about this one is how tight this thing is to switch. But the only reason why that's tight and not really creamy smooth like this one is because I probably had it too long and it's sweaty in there. I don't know. Maybe little pieces of dust. But this one used to be really smooth just like this one out of the box. Could just be overtime wear and tear kind of situation. But this one will stick every now and again. It's kind of a pain. Laser test. Now both the lenses were cleaned off and they both pretty much look similar. You can't really tell a difference between the lasers. Left side over here is ultra, regular one I've always had. Now, the blue light, or black light, sorry. Call it blue because it's slightly purple. Now, Olight Arkfeld Ultra, whatever, is on your left, and the other one is on your right. Now, on the Ultra, it does seem a little more condensed and more powerful. But on the original one I have, it's spread out more. Now, I don't know if that's going to make too much of a difference. Haven't tested it out on anything other than this. But it does look like the Ultra is more powerful, but not as spread out as much as the original Arkfeld I have. Now the light test. Let's go to the lowest setting. Lowest setting. This is the Ultra. It's got a nice, somewhat bluish tint to it. And then the regular one has more of an orange tint. If I kind of overlay them slightly, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like on the Ultra, it's slightly bigger range on the lowest setting. Up at once. Now, same, pretty much a perfect circle. Got that blue tint still. And same kind of orangish yellow tint. Same circle. Side by side, right on top of each other. Kind of almost looks the exact same. Brightness wise, I do like the Ultra more just because it has that slightly cooler feel. But they're still both pretty nice. And I'm gonna up it to the max. Ultra, still exactly same perfect circle. This one just fans out a lot. I guess they both do have their similars, but it just looks like on the Ultra they have perfected a little bit of the things a little bit better. Now the question is it worth it to upgrade? Yes and no. If you still have a pretty new Arkfeld Arkfeld Pro, then I'd say if the switch isn't sticking on you like it is with me, I'd say you're probably good. If you wanted to upgrade because it is sticking, it's definitely worth the upgrade. Now, if you haven't bought an Arkfeld before, going straight for this one, definitely I would say go ahead and do it because it does have slightly a little bit better aspects in the lighting. I like the light a little bit more, and I like how it's concentrated a tad bit more on the UV. I like the texture, the design of it looks cooler. The box, beautiful. You recently bought the Arkfeld Pro and you're thinking about upgrading, I'd say if it's still working, functioning properly, and you've only had it a few months, you're probably better off just staying with this one for now. And then after this one started giving you troubles with anything, then upgrade. But other than that, if you haven't, this is definitely the way to go. I like the thicker pocket clip, works pretty good. It's nice and thick. It's got more of a springy feel. This one is pretty tight because they condensed it into a smaller package, so it was a lot more strength that they had to cram into it. This one has all of its, you know, distribution spread out, so it's got more of a springy feel, but it's still pretty strong, if that makes sense. Whenever you slide it onto your hat, it actually slides on pretty good. Oh yeah, and it kind of looks like on this backside they flipped it out a tad bit more, so it has even more curve, because that was one thing. I've taken my pocket knife and pried this up a little bit to give it more flexibility, because this little tiny clip right here was barely catching my hat at the beginning, and it wouldn't slide on like that. I'd have to kind of pop my fingernail underneath it to be able to slide it. But this one out of the box, my voice cracked. This one out of the box, it can just slide right on by itself. Anyways, I love this thing. Thanks for watching.